This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Stars at night are big and bright. Deep in the heart of Texas, the prairie skies are wide and high. Deep in the heart of Texas, deep in the heart of Texas.
Hello and welcome to King of the Hill podcast. I'm Mike.
And I am Rusty.
He's still Rusty with a sick child. And
yeah.
so means that he's having to do his remote.
We all
Baby
remote.
T, I'm so glad that you like that theme song.
Yeah,
I was a little worried with you guys. I didn't know whether you would like it or not, but I think it worked out well.
Yeah, it's not bad. I like it.
All right. So we've got season 8, episode 11, or in the year of our Lord, 8 ABE09, My Hair Lady. So
My Hair Lady.
Yeah, so a play on My Fair Lady.
My Fair Lady, yep.
My Fair
Aubrey Hepburn, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Aubrey Hepburn and Rick Harrison. Yeah.
Is that the one
I think
where
Julie Andrews is also in there as well?
Is that the one where she's like not
I got you. The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain.
Yeah, so that's the two guys trying to change her.
Yeah, they try to get her and take her from the streets and refine her into a refined woman of the aristocracy, if you will. And it just didn't really work out the way.
No, it doesn't work out well. You know, hello, Super Asky and Baby T and Jamie. The movie Trading Places was like a My Fair Lady kind of thing too, but it was a swap.
Absolutely.
Yeah. She's for the streets, he says.
Yeah.
Okay, this originally aired February 15th, 2004, so day after Valentine's Day.
It was also the 160th episode, written by Wyatt Cenac. He worked on King of the Hill for quite a while. He worked on it for 75 episodes between this time frame and about 2006. He also worked on The Daily Show for about 570 episodes as well. So he was a longtime writer for that. And he had his own TV series called AKA Wyatt Cenac. I've never heard of the guy before, but he's done some TV series. He had one called Problem Areas, Wyatt Cenac, CENAC. Wyatt's CENAC Problem Areas.
I'm a big TV file, and I've never heard of either one of those.
Yeah, I haven't either. And then the other guy, I think he was the director. Hold on. Yeah, the director is Alan Jacobson. He's worked on King of the Hill. Yeah, Jackson. No, Jacobson. He's actually worked on King of the Hill for quite a while. He was actually a part of the pilot. He was a background lay artist on the pilot and character designer and character layout for Square Peg, The Order of the Straight Arrow. So he did some character designing before he got into directing and stuff. But yeah, so he was the director for this one. But he also worked on Dora the Explorer, Go Diego Go, and a bunch of other variety.
Dora the Explorer, but the spinoff.
Both of them actually. He worked on a lot of
both.
Okay. Yeah, he's deep in the Dora lore. He has worked on video games, TV series, every little Dora the Explorer.
You know what they say: once you go Dora, you can't do anything else.
Yeah, true. He also worked on Clarence, Big Hero 6, the series, Curious George, Halloween Boo Fest, Dawn of the Croods, and Nihao Kailan.
You know, it's weird how many times the Croods get mentioned whenever we start going through these people.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Croods is a big jump off point, it seems like.
Yeah. There was a lot of them that worked on them. Okay. So this one is a little sensitive. Probably couldn't do this one these days, But the synopsis here is Bill pretends to be a homosexual to get a job at a trendy beauty salon. This would be really hard to do these days, I would think. Once you go Doro, you can't ignore her. Yeah.
I think we're on the other side of that, honestly.
Are you? You think?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're on the other side of that. I think there's bigger things to worry about than that right now. What's going on in the world? I think
there's definitely bigger things to worry about.
We have more impending doom to worry about than I don't think there's too much right now that's dividing us, except for what's I don't really want to touch it because it's really controversial.
Midnight doom clock or whatever.
Yeah, I just think that things are too far, going a little crazy.
All right, so we start off at Arlen Community College. American history is on the board. The teacher is a weirdo, by the way. And Luann is sitting there, and she's got someone in front of her, a girl, and she's kind of playing with her hair. The professor says, the so-called father of our country, George Washington, felt shaking hands was beneath the president, so he would bow. Now let's move on to the War of 1812. Dolly Madison served the first bowl of ice cream in the White House. True story. It's like, what? This history class. So the student turns around to Luann and is like, what are you doing? She goes, oh, you really shouldn't let your hair get so knotted unless you want it to fall out. If you want it to fall out, I'm sorry for fixing it. I just love Luann sometimes.
I have to interject real quickly.
Yeah.
So they were kind of wrong about the Dolly Madison, the ice cream thing. So she was known really for serving it quite frequently, but she wasn't the first to serve it.
Who was?
So they say it was Thomas Jefferson, or even, they say Thomas Jefferson, but even possibly further back to Abigail Adams, John Adams' wife. So they say that the only thing with Dolly is that she made it a significant tradition, and she elevated it from a rare delicacy to a staple dessert. So the reason why ice cream is mainstream, you could say, is because the president's wife, Dolly Madison, really, really liked it, and she really liked to serve strawberry ice cream. So there you go.
I think the reason that we have tomato aspic is from one of the president's wives. One of the first ladies. You ever had the tomato aspic?
Tomato aspic.
It's a tomato flavored Jello, and it's freaking awful. That is one thing that I will stay away from. A lot of times it has currants in it and things like that.
Wasn't there like an era in the world in history where they ate all this weird Jello stuff?
Like 60s. Late 50s, 60s. Yeah. They were making molds out of everything. They'd put like Vienna sausages in a Jello mold or whatever. And it's just, oh God, I can't even imagine.
I'll never understand why though. Why
I think it was
stuffing shit in Jello.
I think it was like overconsumption after the war. Like they just felt like we can do anything now. We defeated the rest of the world. We can do anything. And so
but why would
it got a little weird.
Why would the leader of the free world start stuffing Vienna sausages and gelatin though?
I don't know.
I mean,
because Ladies' Home Journal told him to.
That's not the flex. The flex was like all the amazing cars we had in that era.
Yeah.
Like you could get a refrigerator from that era now, and it'll last you a lifetime.
That's true, because it's made out of all U.S. American steel.
Well, it was funny too. Just a quick caveat, real fast, then we can get back to it. So there's a guy that I watched that fixes old fridges and stuff from that era. And he does power tests on them as far as like energy efficiency, and he'll put meters on them because you can meter how much electricity it's using and stuff like that. And he left the door open on the refrigerator outside to see if it would use any more energy. He did a whole sampling, and they used way less electricity than what the stuff we use now today does. And it's because it's simple. It's just compressor, and that's it. There's no crap.
It was solid state. It was solid state engineering is what it was. Just like cars back then. I mean, there's only so many pieces. Now cars are all computer and one solid battery. It just it causes more problems than it fixes.
God bless America.
Jamie Batista says to your part of having bigger problems, says exactly, we have bigger problems than a straight man pretending to be gay. Do you remember when Martin was acting as Shanae? I do remember that. I never really watched Martin that much, but I do remember Shanae. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love Martin. That was a good show.
I also remember Martin out in the middle of the street in his underwear with a sword in traffic. I remember
Oh
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was a thing for a while. Yeah.
Super Asky says, my grandma had one of these fridges. Food tastes weird from it. Yeah. And then Baby T, you're absolutely right. They want us to have high ass electric bills. That's
Yes.
part of it right there.
Yeah.
Definitely. So the student turns around and says, what are you doing? She says, well, I'm trying to unknot your hair. And she goes, unless you want it to fall out. She goes, no, you can fix it. Then we hear the professor again. John Adams may not have had Morticia and Thing, but his economic policy was just as scary. Shut up. Time passes and we see that she has braided this girl's hair beautifully. What is that, a French braid, I think, where it goes over each other?
Like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
looks like a challah bread. Says the girl says, wow, you're a really good hairdresser. Luann says, thank you. I used to want to be one. And then she starts spraying hairspray. Everybody starts coughing. The professor, Miss Platter, you're in my class to learn history or to do hair? And she goes, hair, like she's just had an epiphany, just, I gotta do hair. So we're back at the Hill house. We're at the dinner table. And when I say dinner table, I mean the one that's separate, not in the kitchen. They're not eating on their laps or anything like that. Bobby says, the mashed potatoes aren't as buttery as usual, Mom. Did we go poor? That is a wonderful thing to say right there. That is
pretty wonderful.
That's a great Bobby quote right there. The mashed potatoes aren't as buttery as usual, Mom. Did we go poor? That's a good shirt, by the way.
I got a fun fact. I just really like food, so I got a lot of food facts. Mashed potatoes, the earliest recipe ever for mashed potatoes that they could find, like in a written record, is actually it was called The Art of Cookery, published in 1747 by a woman named Hannah Glass, and her recipe smashed them in a saucepan with milk, salt, and butter, which is how most of us eat our potatoes. Actually, a smashed potato, even further back, goes to like the Andes Mountains, where like potatoes come from, like high up in the mountains. So they would smash them and they would dry them out and they would eat them smashed, but not in the same way that we eat them now. So I guess you could say the way we eat them now is the Anglicanized version of potatoes. So it was United Kingdom is where obviously that those potatoes, that recipe comes from Hannah Glass.
Well, I'll tell you this right now. I'll take a couple of those smaller potatoes and I'll cook them like 5 or 6 at a time in the air fryer because I can just set it and forget it kind of thing.
Oh, absolutely.
I coat them in olive oil and I put some coarse salt on it and then put them in the air fryer and let them cook.
Oh, it's delicious.
And then I take them straight from there, let them cool down and put them in their fridge because like throughout the week, I'll take 2 of them, put them in a thing with some cheese and some butter and stuff, microwave it here, put some bacon bits or something in it. That's my whole meal,
And it's really a good snack because potatoes are actually like when they say for like poverty food, when people are like, oh, well, I grew up on noodles. And then you're like, well, yeah, I can tell you're malnourished. But if you eat potatoes, because potatoes are cheap. So if you
keep falling down.
Well, that's the thing that kept peasants alive for a long time. They're eating just that and grains.
Well, talk to the Irish.
Little meat.
Okay, so he says they're not as buttery as usual. Did we go poor? There is no response. Luann comes in and says, I learned something really important at college today. I don't want to be there. And Peggy's like, what? She goes, yeah, I quit. I'm going to do hair. Peggy says, well, you can't do that. There are bigger things in life than hair. You have to stay in college and develop your mind. Shut up, Peggy. Hank says, well, I don't know, Peggy. She's been at college for 2 years and 2.5 years, and it's a 2-year college. It seemed like they had a whack at her and nothing took.
That's funny. I like
yes,
that.
Peggy.
Well, they tried.
They took a whack at her and nothing took. She goes, it's true. Nothing did. She's so excited about the fact that she learned nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Hank says, cutting hair might be good for her. My barber Jack always says hair even grows during the recession, which he's right, but Jack is nuts also.
Yes.
Peggy says, well, that may be true for licensed barbers, but may I remind you both that Luann Platter, hairstylist, failed her cosmetology test. Luann Platter, history student, would have known that. How is that a 1-to-1? That's not.
Yeah, I don't even know how that's a 1 to anything.
That's not anything. Bobby says, maybe Luann Platter dinner guest could send the butter this way. So he's just worried about his mashed potatoes. That's all.
That's it. Which I would be this. I'm only worried about mashed potatoes right now. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Also another caveat. Sorry. So
Yeah.
with vegetables like root vegetables, where you have
Yeah.
like I'm just gonna
Tubers.
use carrots. I'm gonna use carrots and potatoes for example. Whenever you get variety where there's like a lot of different colors and stuff like that in it, those are ones that are usually grown in higher elevations, and that the reason why they're like that is because of the oxygen content in the soil
It's
and
like the
stuff like
purple
that.
potatoes and things like that.
But those are the most flavorful potatoes because
Yeah.
the true potato is supposed to be grown at the elevation of the Andes Mountains. That's the original spot that's the birthplace of potatoes. So
I'm gonna start growing them on my roof.
yeah, grow them on the roof
That way they'll be
taters.
better. Roof taters.
Roof taters, grow them in the vents.
She did some great work on the Supreme Court. Ruth Taters Ginsburg. She did a really good job. Okay, so we're in the alley with all four guys. Buck Strickland never went to college, and he runs 4 businesses and never writes anything down. Well, Hank, I mean, I think we know why. Bill says, yeah, college wasn't for me. They made that very clear. I bet they did, Bill. I bet they did. I bet they made it very clear. Dale says, everyone's always talking about college, but any of you ever actually seen one? Yes, Dale, we've seen a college. We understand that college is a real thing. Bill says, maybe Luann should do what I do and join the Army. Hank's like, no, that won't work. Luann thinks the Army is mean. She just wants to cut hair, but she flunked out of beauty school and never got a license. He says, well, if all she needs is to pass her test, I can help her with that. I had to pass it to become an Army barber. And Hank's like, oh, all right, Bill. Don't scream orders at her, though. She cries. I bet she does. I bet she cries at the drop of a friggin' hat. All right, next thing we see, we're in Bill's garage. We're never in Bill's garage, but this is the first time I can think of being in Bill's garage.
We're growing potatoes in Bill's garage.
Yeah, I bet there are potatoes growing in Bill's garage, probably in his shoes, everywhere.
Probably an ear of corn.
And Luann has one of those styrofoam heads, and she's cutting hair, and he's watching her. And he says, Luann, I can tell you're nervous. If there's one thing I've learned in my 20 years of barbering, it's this. It will grow back. If you did a good job or a bad job, it will grow back. She goes, gosh, you sure know a lot about cutting hair. No, he just said it'll grow back. That's all he said. Bill says, yeah, well, I've been around a bit. I remember when I was your age, life was so full of possibilities. Bruce Jenner's hair had fired the imagination of a nation. And then he kind of looks off and says, oh, glory days. Bruce Jenner's hair.
Oh, sorry. I just got to point the irony out in this episode. So this episode is about Bill cross-dressing, pretending to be a homosexual. And I don't know if it's a little bit of foreshadowing on Bruce Jenner's part, but Bruce Jenner is now no longer Bruce Jenner. I can't remember her transition name, but there's that. I mean, I just, it's a little coincidence.
Caitlyn, right?
Absolutely. That's probably
Caitlyn Jenner. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's correct.
She says, Mr. Dauterive, after I pass my state board exam, maybe I can live the dreams that you're too old to live. He goes, you can. Like he doesn't. Bill to me is such a positive guy sometimes that he doesn't even understand when people are insulting him. All right, so we're at the state licensing board. It says that on the door, on the glass of the door. She's a little nervous, but she's in front of the board. She sees Bill kind of manifest in one of the paintings next to the mirror, and he goes, it will grow back, and she passes. So she's now licensed. We're at Serrani's Beauty Supply. Luann is getting some supplies now.
So the beauty supplier is assumedly Italian. You said Serrani's?
Yeah, Seranies. Serrani's Beauty Supply. Yeah. Hank and Peggy are there. Bill's there. Luann's there. Hank says, well, look at her getting ready for a career. Next thing, she'll be complaining about how high her taxes are. I mean, that's very much a dad joke that Hank says.
Absolutely.
Peggy is, Luann, honey, getting certified as a stylist was the easy part. Now you have to prepare yourself for the constant rejection of the job hunt. Peggy, why don't you keep that shit to yourself? I mean, why do you want to just crush this poor girl's dreams? She would be a great hairdresser.
Well, it's because Peggy is unfulfilled and has to make sure that everybody is
drag them down. Drag them down. The lady comes over and says, "You're a stylist? I'm Colette Davis. I own Hotties." That's right, the one with the Z. And she's wearing a pink shirt that says HOTTYZ, Hotties. And Luann goes, "Oh, you brought the messy ponytail to Arlen, and then 2 weeks later you trashed it as uncool." Lady goes, "Guilty. I think you have the Hotties vibe, and I know vibe. The Arlen Advocate says I invented it. Chair rental is $1,400.
Well, you heard it here first, guys. The Vibe was invented in the year
right.
2002 by
That's right.
Colette Davis at Hotties.
Colette Davis of Hotties. She goes, "Oh, and FYI," and she starts pointing at stuff in her basket and goes, "Vibe, no vibe, crazy vibe." And then she walks off. And Luann says, "Wow, you were wrong, Aunt Peggy. Finding a job was easy." She goes, "Oh yeah, what about chair rental? How are you going to pay for it?" Like, she just constant, man, just constantly
finding
negative.
a way to kick her.
Bill's over to the side and he goes, "I can give you some money, Luann. I was just going to use it on, well, the internet." Yeah, we know what you mean, Bill. Luann says,
Exotic meats.
"Well, I couldn't take your money, Mr. Dautrieve." "Huh. Oh, but maybe we could share the chair." He goes, "No, I'm just an old army barber, Luann. I packed that life away with my dolphin shorts." What are dolphin shorts?
Dolphin shorts are
they
shorts
longer shorts or just shorts with dolphins? Okay.
I thought it was just shorts with dolphins.
It may be. It may be.
Well, let's see. Dolphin shorts. Oh, sorry. Actually, yes, dolphin shorts. Dolphin shorts would be like it's actually unisex style short worn for athletics. So think 1980s. Think Matthew McConaughey leaning up against the building in those white shorts. Those are dolphin shorts.
Okay.
So it would be like Hooters girls. Those shorts. Those are considered. They're actually called the orange dolphin shorts, and it's a specified part of the uniform. So
on Bill.
One high profile wearer of dolphin shorts would have been Richard Simmons at one point, boasting owning 400 pairs.
400 pairs of dolphin shorts.
Yeah. So it's actually an American company as well. So buy American, buy dolphin.
Dolphin shorts. We'll be right back after a message from Dolphin Shorts.
Shillington, Pennsylvania, started out as a air chute company for bomb parachutes and suppliers of cargo chutes for World War II. So there you go.
Oh, that kind of makes sense.
So they went from making things to help things fall from the sky to making dolphin shorts,
making banana hammocks. So Luann says, I'm just an old army barber. There's no way I could do it. She goes, "Mr. Dautrieve, if you don't take a chance, you'll end up miserable like Mr. Dautrieve." I mean, someone else. That's rough, Luann.
That's super rough.
Bill goes, "Look out, hotties, here I come." She goes, "Woo, we're hotties, woohoo." Peggy's like, "Oh, for God's sakes, Hank." He goes, "Oh, she'll be fine." And then Luann says, "Scrunchies for everyone." And that is our first commercial break. We will take that and we'll be right
back after this message from Dolphin. No, I'm just kidding.
Dolphin shorts. Join the Daily High Club, the premier destination for glass water pipes, vaporizers, and accessories. Since 2015, we've sold over 1 million quality products and teamed up with legends like Snoop Dogg and Tommy Chong. Ready to elevate your smoking game? Visit dailyhighclub.com for our El Primo subscription box or shop unique pieces today.
Discover the world of luxury sex toys at Luxury Toy X and indulge in the ultimate pleasure experience. For years, we have been dedicated to the belief that sexuality and wellness are essential components of a happy and healthy life. With over 70,000 satisfied customers, we take pride in our ability to provide products that enhance your sexual well-being. Join our community of satisfied customers and unlock a world of pleasure and self-discovery. Visit luxurytoyx.com today.
Polo Neuro is a new kind of wearable that helps your body recover from stress, that helps you calm down and feel better. You sleep better, and you can get back to being yourself. Learn more at apolloneuro.com.
I'm Hunter, the founder of Hello Cake, and today we're digging into ED meds. The number one thing we hear is that guys are sick of waiting for ED meds to kick in. Traditional ED meds take about an hour to kick in as they have to go through your digestive system, where Hello Cake's ED medication dissolves under your tongue and works in about 15 minutes. That's about 3 times faster than traditional ED medication. Curious about ED meds? Go to hellocake.com.
Relax with Hemp Delicious. Organically grown hemp, massively blended with delicious organic herbs, responsibly sourced for their holistic benefits. Each sip offers calming, antioxidant-rich wellness. Brewed just for you. Sip the calm with Hemp Delicious. Find your blend at hempdelicious.com.
Baby girl, were you staring at me? You know that's not convincing, right? Try again. Well, you shouldn't just be staring then. You should taste.
I miss your presence, your laughter.
All right, and we are
All
back.
right.
That chat thing gets me every time. Baby T is asking, what value does Peggy bring? She brings no value whatsoever. All right, so Bill and Luann are in his car and they are driving to Hottie's. She says, it's going to be so cool when we get to Hottie's and they say, do you have an appointment? And we say, no, we work here. And they say, no, you don't. And we say, no, we do. And then we make up and give them a great haircut.
All
Woof.
right.
Bill says, last night I dreamed about hair, but it was a good dream this time, not the one where it forms a noose and hangs me. I mean, he just like giggles afterwards.
what?
Where it hangs me.
What?
She says, I'm so excited. They park and we realize that Hottie's is right across the street from Jack's. So that's
Yep.
Hank Barber. He's out there just kind of sweeping the street. And she looks at him and goes, hi, I cut hair too. Isn't this so much fun? And he just throws the broom away. He's like, nah.
Yeah.
So they walk into Hottie's and there's a DJ there. This DJ is, what's this chick's name? Colette. Colette is the DJ. I didn't even
Colette,
realize
yep.
this. I didn't realize she was the DJ until the end of this show. And she goes, she walks in, she says, sup? You the new cutter?
Yeah. I don't mean to interrupt you. I
Yeah,
forgot to do the voice. The voice of Colette is Christina Applegate.
Oh, very nice. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. She says, you new cutter? She goes, we both are. We're cutters. And they both kind of laugh. He goes, we're cutters. She goes, whatever. Here are your uniforms. She gives them the pink shirts with the Hotties. Bill says, I'm never going to take this off. I don't know if I could. And that's true because half his guts hanging out and it's very small. Not sure why they couldn't give him a bigger shirt. And then we hear from one of the stylists over on the side. His name is Rico, and he's very flamboyant. He goes, shh, your hair
David
is...
Herman.
Ah, okay. He goes, shh, your hair is trying to tell me all the nasty things it wants me to do to it. And he's telling that to
Whatever
a customer that he's
that
working
means.
on. Colette says, that's Rico. He's flaming hot and flaming gay. He's vibe squared. And he goes, hey, why is your client wearing a Hottie's t-shirt? She goes, oh, Mr. Dotrieve, he's not my client. I couldn't afford the chair on my own, so we're sharing it. He taught me everything I know. And then it pans over and you see Bill just like digging in his ear and stuff. Colette says, oh, no, this is not going to work. Goodbye. And I mean, just like that, she's just like, screw it, get out of here. She goes, but we already paid a week's rent and I dropped out of school for this. She goes, all right, fine. You can stay the week, but your last chair, Audrey, she's talking to another one of the stylists. She goes, Audrey, congrats. Grab your ferret and your Jane magazines, your chair 4. And this woman literally has a ferret on each shoulder. So she goes over. The client, there's a client that comes running in and she goes, Rico. She goes right up to Rico. Rico, I have closing arguments in an hour and I need to look jury friendly. He goes, sorry, sweetie, I'm booked up. If you're real desperate, you might try the new cutters in the back. And she turns around and looks and sees Luann and Bill standing back there. She goes back to them and she's talking to Luann. She goes, I'm in a rush and I need to look. And then Luann says, oh my gosh, you're my first ever client. Don't be nervous. If I screw up, it'll grow back. That's not what you tell people. And then Bill puts her head
Definitely
under
not what you tell people. I would immediately get out of the chair. Yeah, do
Bill
not
turns
mess with
around.
my hair.
Bill turns around and his mouth is just full of food. And he goes, let's get you shampooed. Nom, nom, nom. the lady goes, hiya, and just kicks him right in the nuts. Now we go over to the Hill living room. This is later that evening. And Luann's got a bowl of popcorn. Hank is sitting in the chair with the remote, and Peggy is reading a ladies' monthly magazine. Luann says, Mr. Dautrieve got kicked right in his, well, I didn't see where her foot went, but she said, bullseye. And Peggy goes, that's the real world for you. Mr. Dautrieve gets kicked in the groin. Don't you wish you'd stayed in college? Damn it, Peggy, stop.
Rough.
Bill,
Yeah, she's an asshole.
Hank says, Luann, I'll give you a little tip. If you want to succeed, identify the most successful person at work and do what they do. And Luann goes, we'll do it. Okay. Now we're back at Hottie's. And we've got Rico there, and he says, hello, Luscious. What kind of love are we making to your hair today? He's talking to his client, you know. And Luann says, Rico is so successful. We have to do what he does. And then the DJ / what did I say her name was? Kaylin said, did one of you breeders take my, oh, no, I'm sorry. He says that. Did one of you breeders take my, and Luann says, Rico, I heard you with your client. You were very sexy. He goes, yes, I know. People want to leave here feeling hot and sexy. And if you can't give it to them, you may as well be barbering down at Jack's. And Bill is standing right in front of his mirror. And he goes, please stand away from the mirror. I like to watch myself when I cut. And Bill says to Luann, ooh, he does have a vibe. She's like, Now, at Luann's house, and she's talking to herself in the mirror, and she's practicing, right? So she's like, how would you like your haircut today? And then she gets down on her knees and she goes, oh, dear Lord, I don't want to go back to college. So please help me be sexy. Amen. That's the greatest prayer ever. Please help me.
That is, yeah.
So we're at Hottie's, and Luann is kind of waiting around. Bill comes in, and he is... Well, first off, Luann is talking to one of her clients, and she goes, your hair is so sexy. It reminds me of sex. And then,
what?
It reminds me of sex. Bill comes through the door, and he has a bandana on his head. He has chains. He has a half shirt. He has something tied around his waist. He has gone all out trying to look gay. And he comes in and goes, sorry, I'm late, everybody. My Pilates class ran long. And then there's a client waiting, says, I'm here for Rico. He goes, well, Bidu can help you now. So now he's Bidu. Bido. Sorry. I was thinking Bidu, like Bidu.
Yeah, I did too. When I was reading it, I was like, Bidu. I was like,
yeah, it's Bido. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, yeah.
And then Luann goes, psst, are you homosexual? He goes, I'm just trying to act more like Rico. She goes, me too. If I accidentally start acting not sexy, give me a sign. Go like this. she pulls on her ear like Carol Burnett did, you know?
Yeah.
And he goes, okay, give me the sign. If I start not acting gay, if I start not acting gay, he is talking to his client, and he says, oh, you sizzle with a capital S, capital Izzle. And the lady in the chair, yeah, the lady in the chair just giggles. She goes, my boyfriend's taking me to Lake Arlen for dinner and dancing. And then and he goes, tell me about your boyfriend. Is he cute? Does he have muscular thighs? Jesus, Bill.
All right.
Then we get like a montage of people dancing. Luann is being sexy. Bill's being gay. They're both making money. And then we get a flash to a club after work. They're all the hairdressers and the owner are sitting around like one of those round table booths in a bar. And she goes, to Luann and Bido, the hottest haircutting team in town. Everybody's like, woo. She goes, okay, girls, next round's on me. I can't cut hair without a hangover. That's a bad thing.
Whoa.
Yeah. Bill, hearing this, says, oh, I could go for a beer. And Luann immediately starts pulling on her ear. He goes, or a pink squirrel. Yeah, I like my drinks the same as my men, strong and sweet and under an umbrella.
Dale, not Dale, Bill. I mean,
and then we overhear the DJ in the club, and he's, hey, we got some hotties in the bar from Hotties tonight. This one's for them. And they all start cheering. They go out into the dance floor. Kaylin says, come on, B-Do, back that thing up. Show me the dance that got you kicked off Fire Island, honey. And he goes, try and stop me. And then he just starts dancing, sexy dancing with ladies and stuff. And he is like, he's starting to see the bad side of this because Bill is so lonely and so sex deprived. He says, oh boy, if I weren't so dang gay. And then they hear, oh, B-Do, I know it must be hard for you in a town like this with no 24-hour gyms or TGI Fridays. Are TGI Fridays inherently gay? Is that what she's saying?
Maybe that's what she's saying. Yeah.
She goes, hey, I think that guy's checking you out. He looks over at the bar. John Redcorn just standing there, just staring at him. They exchange glances, and finally Bill's like, screw it. And he just starts dancing again.
Oh, wow. Okay, so the history behind TGI Fridays, the guy that created TGI Fridays was a single man, and he created it because he wanted to meet women. So one of the first promotions of it was a ladies' night, which he
Oh, wow.
achieved. So he created a shitty chain restaurant so he could meet women.
meet
That's kind of
chicks.
wild.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That is absolutely insane. So
Well,
it says
I'm
it
not
says-
convinced that they didn't create AI for the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So it said that it was originated. The founder opened the first TGA Fridays in 1965 in New York with the explicit goal of meeting women, and apparently during the I think early 60s, early 80s, it was used as a place. I think gays use it as a place to meet as well. I
Oh.
think that was a thing.
I see. So maybe she did know what she was talking about.
Maybe.
So we're back at Hottie's, and Luann gets a tip from a guy for $10. She goes, "Oh, my first $10 tip, thank you." And then the client looks at her and goes, "Okay, now meow like a kitty." Yeah, that's a tough $10 right there, man. Because
So
she has,
TGI Fridays was a singles bar pretty much
Yeah.
before it was a food place. That's crazy.
she has to meow for this guy for $10. So she meows. A lady comes running in and she sits on Bill's lap, and Bill says, "B-Do will not bite. I am gay." And then you hear from the owner. By the way, he now has this Fu Manchu mustache, right? Just this big, just a mustache going down both sides.
Yep, big old Fu Manchu.
And then the lady says, "Luann, B-Do, I'm moving you to second chair. Congrats." And Luann's like, "Oh, second chair. That's almost as good as first chair." Yeah, well, it's one away.
It's one away.
It flashes to Rico, and Rico looks very worried. Then Hank and Bobby come in, and Bobby goes up to the lady at the front desk and goes, "Hello, which hair gel do you suggest for my hair type? Virgin or dirty girl?" And then Hank's just like, "Bobby, truck." You know, he just like immediately, "Get the hell out of here. Stop
Get the
talking
hell out
about
of here,
that."
Bobby. Get out of here, Bobby.
Luann comes up and says, "Uncle Hank, this is so great. I'm succeeding in the real world, one updo at a time." He goes, "Well, that's good to hear, I guess. I figured I'd come to support you." She says, "You want a haircut?" He goes, "No, I just came to support you. Good job." You know,
All right, I gotta
good job.
I gotta make a comparison here with what we're talking. I call this Bill exploitation.
Billsploitation.
Yeah, so there's a few episodes that the theme of the episode is Bill being exploited by somebody, and he changes his whole personality or does something differently outside of the norm for Bill, or people take advantage of Bill as a driving force, because they call him the Billdozer for a reason, because he could lock in.
Sure.
And this is one of those episodes where he locks in, and the other one would be in the newer episode or whatever. It's the funeral episode where everybody thinks that Peggy's his wife, and then there's the other episode where Peggy kind of takes advantage of him in the MLM to sell whatever it was, protein bars or whatever they were selling.
Yeah.
So this is one of the Bill exploitation. If you have a favorite Bill exploitation episode or another one that I can't remember or haven't named, email is at bwaaakoth@gmail.com, and if we could compile like a group of them, we'll discuss them.
Baby T says it's not really being supportive, Hank. Well,
Not
I mean, in
really.
Hank's way it is, I guess, Good
Well,
job.
he's already had a haircut by her. Didn't he already do like a sample haircut?
I think so.
I think so, maybe.
So he turns and he goes, Bill? He goes, Hank? Bill? Hey, Hank, can't talk right now. A little busy. See you at home. Does your wife know you're here? What? What happened?
Nothing. I was I was congested right here. Not congested, but I was like burping.
Gotcha. He says, so he goes, Hank, I can't talk right now. A little busy. See you at home. And Hank says, what happened to you? He goes, what? You mean last night? You don't own me. Does your wife know you're here? So he is playing up this whole gay thing in front of all the people at Hottie's. And he goes, well, no, I'm on my lunch break. He starts crying. Bill starts crying and goes, I can't keep living like this, Hank. You've got a wife and a family at home, and I've got nothing. Everybody kind of gathers around. I can't imagine what Hank did after that. I mean, he had to just leave. That's wild. He had to just leave. All right, Hank and Bobby go across the street to Jack's, and Bobby's sitting on the chair there, and he's kind of looking out the window over at Hottie's, and Hank is in the chair getting a cut from Jack. He goes, I just don't understand why everybody is going to that nut house, Hottie's, instead of here. Are you sure your pole is working? Jack says, Bill Murray's brother, says,
Brian Doyle
Murray.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hottie's is the future, Hank. Who wants a haircut from Jack when some pretty girl with all her teeth can do it? All her teeth. Hank says,
missing a couple.
Jack is rough, man.
Long
he goes, yeah, but they're going to Bill too. And he's acting like, he goes, hold your head still unless you want me to cut that ear off. I mean, you can see why people don't go to Jack. All right. So we're back at the alley. Bill is still in his Hottie's gear. And he's drinking out of a champagne flute now instead of drinking beer. And Dale's standing right next to him.
Work home. Bring work home with him. Yeah.
Dale's standing right next to him and trying to guess what he is. He goes, pirate, gondola operator, waiter, pirate waiter, pirate waiter.
I like that.
And Bill goes,
pirate waiter.
Hank just kind of sighs and he goes, he's supposed to be gay, Dale. He goes, really? I don't see it. Bill says, I don't know why people are always saying how hard it is to be gay. It's wonderful, really. Hank's like, you're not gay. He goes, they don't know that. Women who are normally repulsed by me are letting me brush their hair, massage their shoulders, compliment their bottoms. Peggy comes out and she goes, Hank, you know who else went to college? And she stops and stares at Bill. And Bill says, hey, Peggy, let's go invite your hair to that party that the rest of you is throwing. And Peggy thinks about it for a second. And this part even fools Peggy. She goes, oh, Bill, like like he's flattering her, but only because he's acting gay.
Only because he is code switching. Absolutely.
Yep. All right. So now we're at Hottie's. He is absolutely next to Rico now because they're in chair 2. And Khan is sitting there getting a haircut. Khan says, oh, check me out in first chair at Hottie's. The lady comes over, the DJ lady, and she goes, I wanted to invite you guys to a party tonight. Rumor is the chick that was kicked off American Idol is going to be cage dancing. And she kind of laughs. Everybody laughs. Everybody squeals. A client comes right up to Bill and says, Beto, Scott dumped me, and I need him to see what he's missing. Bill says, oh, honey, I swear on a stack of gladiators, I'll take care of you. They walk off. He walks off with her. And the lady says, hey, first chair. I'm sorry, Khan says, hey, first chair, like he's walking away from Khan. So no more haircut for Khan. And then the lady says, I don't want to get any hair on my blouse. And so she takes off her shirt. She's got a bra on, but she takes off her shirt and puts on the smock to get her hair washed and stuff. And Bill is like, ooh. Bill is the horniest horn dog that ever horned. And Bill is very lonely and very desperate. And this is pushing all of Bill's buttons, if you will. She kind of sighs. He's like, oh, he goes, did you say something? I saw your bosom move, like you said. You saw your bosom move, like you said something. She goes, Cut Mistress said you got dumped by your guy too. And he goes, because he can see down her shirt while he's shampooing her. And she goes, oh, I know. I do astrology, and I can tell that we're kindred spirits, Beto. He just whimpers again, and she goes, we're just too much for our men. Oh, your aura's so warm. It's a shame you're gay. Then there's a long sigh, And Bill kind of whimpers and he goes, I'm not
Oh, here we
gay.
go.
Yeah,
Yep,
he
there it
says, I'm not
goes.
gay, real loud. You
There's
hear
only
a
a moment of
record
time.
scratch. Yeah, you're a record scratch because the
Yeah.
DJ stops. Luann starts pulling on her ear, like, no, you're not acting gay. Like, okay, he said it now, Luann. You don't have to pull on your ear. He goes, no, I'm not gay. We can be together. You and me are kindred spirits. The lady goes, you're not gay? He goes, 100% into ladies. Who wants a hug? I do. She goes, oh, you're disgusting. And all the other women start gasping. And she goes, you're a liar. The other lady says, I shared a Coke with him. Another lady says, I let him swim in my pool. He's like, yeah, but, oh. And then the lady just kind of backs off. Luann backs off. And Bill knows that he probably shouldn't have said that out loud. Poor Bill. I feel bad for him. But that is our second commercial break. We will take that and we'll be right back.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Tervis is all about staying hydrated. Each product is built to last and comes in endless designs to match your personality. Stay refreshed and express yourself with Tervis. Visit tervis.com today and find your perfect tumbler.
Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. Whether at home or on the go, NordVPN ensures your digital freedom. Stay secure. Download NordVPN today at nordvpn.com. That's NORDVPN.com. Looking for tickets to the hottest shows, games, and events? Ticket Liquidator is your one-stop shop for great prices, no hassles, and guaranteed tickets. Since 2003, we've been connecting buyers and sellers, providing access to sold-out events at prices lower than most secondary market options. Whether it's sports, theater, or concerts, our massive nationwide network ensures you get the tickets you want, guaranteed. For the best seats at the biggest events, start with Ticket Liquidator today at ticketliquidator.com. That's TICKETLIQUIDATOR.com. Ticket Liquidator.
We are back. So Bill has shouted out that he is not gay.
Not
he just
gay.
couldn't take it anymore. And everybody's just kind of standing there in shock, right?
Yeah, it's kind of weird though. It's like
It is very
I'm
weird.
sure that could be an arrestable offense.
I would think so. I would think so.
I'm pretty sure that I don't know what the charge would be. Maybe I don't even know what that would be, honestly. Is that fraud?
I think it might be fraud. Yeah.
Well,
I think it
because
possibly could be
well,
because
and then if he's rubbing on women's shoulders and looking down their shirts, there could be some kind of like sexual predator kind of type charge that goes along with that. Bill just committed probably 20 felonies.
That's right. That's right. Bill commits felonies every day, though. All right, so we're back at Hottie's. All are kind of laughing at Bill, staring at him. He goes, "Well, I take it back. I am gay. I am gay."
You can't put the genie back in the bottle, Bill.
No, you can't put the gay genie back in the bottle. Kaylin says, "Oh, you are?" He goes, "Bye." She goes, "When you were gay, you were intriguing with an artistic bent, but now that you're straight, you're just a sleazy barber. Pack up and go back to that beer commercial that you came from." And Luann comes up and she's like, "Oh, but we're first chair." She goes, Luann, honey, you're fabulous. I mean, you've got great abs and vibe to spare. I mean, if it was just you, I would hire you back in a second. But since you and that, pointing at Bill, are a team, I got to let you both go. She goes, but I belong here. I already failed out of college. I cannot fail out of the real world. There are no other worlds for me to go to. Okay.
You failed.
Bill says, we'll be all right, Luann. She goes, Mr. Dautrieve, wow, this is really tough. And she basically hangs Bill out to dry there.
Yeah, she did.
The lady says, you're fired. He goes, no, but we're a team. She goes, sorry, Bido. That's your real name. Shirt stays here. And he has to take off his damn shirt and leave it there, and he doesn't have another shirt. So it's just Bill shirtless now.
It's just shirtless Bill.
It's not a good sight.
Kind of reminiscent of Randy the Cheeseburger Pirate from Trailer Park Boys.
Randy the Cheeseburger Pilot, indeed. Now we're in the alley. Bill is there, but he's still got no shirt on. He's sitting on the cooler. He goes, why can't I be gay? I had all the women, all the money, fancy clothes. Hank says, Bill, I don't think you were right for that salon. Bill's like, everyone said the same thing, only meaner. Right after I bought $700 worth of shoes. $700 worth of shoes.
That is insane.
Hank goes,
mostly pump. I have a funny shoe story.
Yeah.
So I think I've talked about this before, maybe, I don't know, but there's this the neighbor apps or whatever. It was a lady selling shoes because her husband had passed away, and she had went on a shoe shopping spree and had tons of shoes to sell. So she put on there selling shoes, whatever. Her husband died, and then there was a lady that was like, do you have a size 7? And then she was like, no, they're all size 9s. And she was like, oh, well, I'm a size 7. Sorry, your husband died.
Well, the sentiment was there, I guess.
I guess so. She really needed those shoes, though, to be a 7. She
really needed them to be a 7. Yeah, even though the guy was dead.
Pissed, but she was also remorseful.
So he says, everybody said the same thing, even after I bought $700 worth of shoes. Hank says, well, doesn't Luann stand up for you? He goes, no, she threw my cottage cheese from the mini fridge in the street. And Hank says, what? That's not right. And he walks off, and he's walking straight over to Luann. Dale says, so you ever gonna put on a shirt? I love those little one-offs like that. Those are so good. Hank walks over to Luann's, and they're both by the pool while they're talking. He goes, so you used Bill up and you cast him aside. Do you have any idea how hurtful that is every time it happens to him? Every time it happens to him.
It shouldn't happen that much, Bill.
Luann says, I was just doing what you told me and following the most successful person. Now that's Rico. And he said, sexy talks and bald and straight walks. Hank says, I never told you to turn on your friends. Maybe your Aunt Peggy was right. You need to go back to college and take some courses in being a decent person. Man, that is a huge insult from Hank. I mean, that's a big one right there. If he tells you to go to college for being a decent person, you know that you've kind of effed up.
Absolutely.
We see Bill over there, and Bill takes off his fake mustache and his shoes and throws them into the trash. So the Luann feels bad, so she's dragging Bill back to Hottie's with a Z. They go inside, and she goes, cut, mistress, could you stop spinning for a second? So she stops the DJing, and she's talking to the whole shop, is Luann. She goes, Mr. Dautrieve is great hairstylist. Don't you see? Mr. Dautrieve can't help that he's straight. It's just the way he was born. It's in his DNAs. Now, hair gave from straight. It just wants to be loved. Shouldn't we all be more like hair? I know I wish I had been more like hair to my friend, Mr. Dautrieve. And the lady goes, very touching. You're both fired. And then just goes back to DJ. just like nothing happened. Next thing we see is Hank's got his truck in front of Hottie's, and they're moving all the stuff out. And Luann says, it's great to stop pretending I'm someone else who can go back to pretending it's me again. I'm just going to really miss cutting hair. Bill says, it was so great to be able to moonlight and have an outlet for my Creative Jones. Creative Jones he's got a Creative Jones. She says, Jack must be the luckiest man in the world. He's doing what he loves and doesn't have to worry about anything but hair. And it hands over to Jack, and Jack's like, rah, rah, rah. And he's hitting the barber pole with his broom, and he goes, I'm going to torch this place. Hank says, well, maybe I can help you out. And so they go over there to Jack's, And Jack is sitting in the chair when Hank comes in. He goes, "Hey there, Jack," or "Hey there, Hank. Want another haircut? You can pay me in food. I'll shave you for a sandwich."
Well, I mean, you know,
Pay me in food.
that's we could split a Subway footlong.
Hank says, "What if I gave you something better? My niece Luann here is a great hair cutter, and you'd be lucky to have her services." He goes, "Aren't you the first chair from Hottie's?" She goes, "I was. We were, Mr. Dotrieve and me." He goes, "All right, I stole Hottie's first chair away. The scales are beginning to tip for old Jack. Maybe I'll start paying back the muscular dystrophy jar."
That's a great joke. That's a beautiful joke.
He starts dancing and giggling. Later on, we go back to Jack's. The whole place is full. And Peggy is there, Hank's there, everybody's there. And Peggy says to Luann, "You and Bill really turned things around here, Luann. Why don't you save the money you're making now and move back in with us?" Peggy is in Luann's chair. Bobby is in Bill's chair. And they're both getting their hair done. And she goes, "You mean it? You don't think I need to go back to college?" She says, "No, I think you're right where you should be." She looks in the mirror and goes, "My God, you made me look hot, huh?" And then we go over to Bill. Bill takes the smock off of Bobby. Bobby now has blue hair. And he goes, "And if your dad asks, just tell him it'll grow back." And that's it. We get our credits. After the credits, we do hear pirate waiter. That's it.
Pirate waiter.
So that is King of the Hill, season 8, episode 11. My hair
lady. That was a good one.
Yeah, it is actually a pretty funny one. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. It's a weird Friday morning, but we're getting these things done. And my wife's birthday is tomorrow, so I'm going to be spending the whole day with her.
Oh, okay. Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
Tell her happy birthday.
Thank you. We'll do.
A young 38.
A young, yeah.
Or we'll say 38. I think
sure.
Like that.
Sounds good. She doesn't care. But thank you all for being here. Baby T, Super ASCII. Let's see who else was here. Jamie, Batista, and whoever else. If I missed you, I'm so sorry. But thank you guys for being here. We appreciate it. We couldn't do this without you.
Thank you.
And you want to tell them where they can find us?
Yeah, you can find us at BWAAAKOTH. And if you stick around and you're on the live, you could check out our next episode, a Friday episode. I have an email that I'm going to read.
Oh.
Also, you can find us at BWAAA. That's 3 A's, KOTH.
3 A's, no waiting.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We love you. Thank you so much. And we will see you again next time. I think that leaves one thing left to say.
We matanye.
We matanye indeed. We'll see you next time.
Deep in the heart of Texas.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.